Welcome to CoinBook. My name is Calvin Waite, and I'm a professional crypto trader. I really like getting feedback from you guys about the market, what you're trading, successes, failures, so I'm going to go ahead and start giving out a t-shirt every week now. What I'll do is I'll look at all comments from Thursday to Thursday, and then Friday select a random winner. Well, today is quite a roller coaster of emotions. We have alts doing really well, and we have Bitcoin absolutely falling on its face. We still have almost 4 hours left in the day, but this candle is definitely a little different than the candles we've seen in the past. Since November 26th. Even November 26th had a bigger tail than the tail we're showing right now. So, what does this mean? This is the golden question. I was listening to some different thoughts this morning, and there was somebody that was like, "Yeah, well, looks like Bitcoin has had a double top." No, it has not. This is not even close to a double top. Our top here was at 40,700. We are now rejecting off of 39,200. that's a huge difference. We're $1,500 away from this. So what this looks like is it looks like we have a lower high in the books. So then the question is this the top of our bubble that we were talking about, where this is an absolute bull trap, and now we're going to sell off and go find our baseline again? Well, our baseline is at 10,500. I just don't think that's happening. We're not at the top of our blow off top. That's just not where we are in this. A while ago, when we were really, really low and we really kind of blew off in June of last year, we had a couple of days where we had a bull trap here, and then we sold off for quite a while, and we really did return to our baseline here. But we're in the middle of our bull move. The sentiment, the buyers in the market, everything is different. So I don't think that this is going to be a full return to the baseline. I think we're going to see some downside, but there are two scenarios that could play out here. The one scenario that could play out is that this becomes a consolidation of some kind. We could even have like a bull flag, something like that. And then suddenly we could have a return, and we will work ourselves out of this situation. Or we could break below and have a panic sell situation, and we could head down pretty far. Our support, our most recent support, is at about 24,000, 23.8, and then obviously we've got giant support at 20,000. So I don't think we'll be breaking below 20,000, but it's a tough one, because the question is, if we have a lower high and if we eventually get a lower low, then this is going to start looking pretty bearish. But this is what I think. I think we're going to have a channel. I'm betting we make a parallel channel here. My parallel channel is not looking very pretty. It's because of my log scale. I'm betting we trade in this range. But I mean, it's all speculation. We don't have enough information to really know where we're headed. So I'm going to go ahead and lose the bottom of that. But this is an obvious declining resistance level. What will really give us more direction on at least what happens tomorrow is how this candle ends the day. If within the last few minutes we pull up and we're about halfway up and we retain this line, then I would say that this is just a nice consolidation and we're on our way. If we close pretty close to the low of this candle, then we're in for some pain. And I don't know what that means. I don't know how extreme it will be, but I do know that we have a level here, and if we break below this, especially this steep of an angle, it could be pretty brutal. If we lose our 30,000 bottom, it could be pretty decent to the downside. But I'm not planning on making any moves on Bitcoin. I just feel like alt season is looking so good. I'd rather not hold my capital in USD. I would rather. I think the returns will be better in alts. So I'm just gonna let this run. It can do whatever it needs to. If it hits 20, I'm not gonna die over it. For Bitcoin, it's definitely a long-term game, and these markets are very fast and they are highly they'll trick you. So it's hard to really try to play Bitcoin really hard because I think there are better, safer bets out there. But anyway, those are my thoughts. I feel like we could be in for some pain, but I kind of feel like we will probably have a nice consolidation, and we should pull out as long as the amount of buyers that we've seen are still in the market. So. Oh man, this looks so good, guys. I am loving the altcoin market cap formation that we've got going here. It is so great. We've got some great ascending structure. We got lots of supports coming up. We have our resistance is retreating. We're looking pretty good. I think we're heading into some decent alt season land. Our next major point of resistance is at about 9 million Bitcoin, and we're at about 8.5. So we've got a little bit of room to roam. I don't know how these lines will come into play, but overall, I really like the structure of this, and boy, are alts looking good today. It is very, very impressive. So we touched this bottom down here at 6.6 million Bitcoin, and we're starting to move. I was just pointing out how, so it was back in September of 2019 that we had this complete run all the way up till September of 2020. So it was a year-long alt season. And we've had a rough run because in the matter of 4 months, we've essentially undone all of that progress. So by moving back up into the middle of the range here, I think that we've got a little bit of upside on our hands, at least for the next little bit. So the majority of alts that I'm looking at are starting to turn. I'm in 22% of my trades as longs, and I'm betting that after today, that number will shoot up. So I think my Bitcoin's going to be much better used in some of these really great alt opportunities rather than trying to mess around and get spooked out on the Bitcoin USD market. All right, we're analyzing the perfect trade. We're testing the distance. We got our targets, everything ready to go. All right, ready? Perfect trade. Okay, so this was kind of the point that I wanted to make. right now we aren't sure what Bitcoin is doing. We're not sure if it's a flag or if it's going to totally drop back down really hard. So let's think about risk reward on Bitcoin versus some of these alts. So for example, if we took a trade right here at 35,000 and we didn't really have confirmation that we fell out of our bottom until we hit about, we'll say 34. So let's say we sell at 34 and we think, okay, we're going to try to short, or we're going to try to wait until the price retreats back to 24,000. So let's see what type of return is on the table if that happens. We've got our we'll sell at 24, at 34, buying at 24. There's potentially 41% on the table. 41%. Now let's take a look at some of these alts. So Link is one that I've been watching, and I ended up buying it at the end of day because we've got our awesome structure. I will buy this 100 out of 100 times. It's not because I think that I'm 100% right, because we had kind of a drop and we were doing this move here, and I ended up buying a position in here that's upside down. But every time we start showing support and we start, yeah, it might have been over here. So we had a nice low and we had higher support and it was very obvious. I'm not afraid to buy these, even if it goes upside down, because it is a numbers game. It's all statistics, and it's just a game of odds. And the odds are eventually that this will be an amazing trade. So once we hit our nice bottom and we had a higher support that was very obvious, I went ahead and took the trade right here, and now we're up 18%. So the question is there a 41% trade on the table? So if I took 10% of my entire portfolio and put it into Bitcoin, I feel like the Bitcoin trade, trying to capture this move down, it just seems a little more risky, because there is a lot of unknowns. Bitcoin just absolutely can surprise you. And so if we ended up going down and you sold here, and then we popped back up, and then we broke above the resistance, and suddenly we're off to the races, up to 50,000 in a matter of days, it gets really emotional, and it gets hard to make time that type of a trade. Where do I think Link can reach? Let's say we get up to our 50-week moving average. Well, there's 41% already. I think this is a way better risk, because there's a lot of eyes on it. There's a lot of good structure here, and when we get through a couple of these things, it's going to be there. So obviously, I'm not putting more than 1% in these smaller risks, these smaller altcoin trades. But when there's a general sense of alts moving, they will end up moving a lot further. Like for example, so let's say I'm here at 45,000 Satoshi. If we get back up to our, this is double right here. I feel like there's just a lot more upside when it comes to some of these. People absolutely hate alts, and they feel like you'll listen to YouTubers talking about alts and how they think everything's a bunch of garbage out there. But the fact is, markets are really emotional, and they move fast. And when you catch it at the right time, that you can make an enormous return, because investors just love to pile on once they see something starting to move. We saw this with Litecoin years ago. Years ago, Litecoin was just kind of in a rut. It wasn't doing anything. It had just gone down for a year and a half. And then suddenly, out of nowhere, it just started turning. You know what I mean? We started seeing this curve at the bottom, and we finally exited the red zone. We found some support and some structure, and suddenly Litecoin was everybody's favorite coin. Like people that had written it off and had badmouthed it for years, suddenly everyone's pumping it and getting all excited, and they just pushed it all the way up. And that's exactly what will happen with all of these altcoins. We're just waiting for the right cycle. So anyway, I'm looking forward to this because look at this day. We've got just green everywhere. So there were a couple of comments where I was pointing out some of the coins that I had taken long positions in, and some people were like, "Wow, that's crazy! Like, why would you buy these?" Like, I bought Vericoin. Vericoin is obviously a very low cap, so I'm putting small amounts into these, but look at that. We're up 30% today, and I feel like there's just a ton of upside here. And so, we've attempted a couple of times to exit the red zone, but if we close above here, that's going to really solidify the fact that we got some things going up. But a lot of these coins, Ravencoin's flattening out. I'm looking for an entrance at some point soon there. Mana was a coin that I had bought. I talked about Zen. Let's see. So Engine Coin was one. That's one that I picked up in the last few days. So I'm already up on that trade. There's just a lot of. I just feel like we're hitting a bottom. Like we're finally starting to round off. Anything where we're just kind of going down and we're just going sideways and our highs are just getting lower and lower and lower and lower. There's just not anything to invest. I haven't bought Engine since back in here, bought and sold, because once we turned this corner and we started heading down, there was nothing to buy. There was no supports to look at. Everything was declining. We were all just declining. Well, now we've got a nice low point in the sand. We're starting to show higher support. The second we get a close above this thing could turn around, and we've sold off so much that there is triple and quadruple on the table here. It's just a matter of waiting a couple of months. So anyway, I'm really looking forward to this. We've been waiting for this, and there are a lot of, just look how much green there is out here in the market today. Just a lot. And so if Bitcoin gets all flat and just starts consolidating, or even if it drops off, as long as it doesn't drop off so hard that everyone gets kind of a USD shock on the altcoin side, boy, will there be some good opportunities. And putting a low investment in on some of these and waiting for that to pop up, the risk reward is just really nice. Algo's one. So this one I bought recently, and yeah, I just feel like there's a lot of eyes on these. Once we have a couple of days in a row where we're starting to head up, boy, the investors just come out of the woodwork. So this should be pretty fun. I am really looking forward to it. I feel like we are at the swing low of this alt season. So in the next few months, when everyone's freaking out and they're just so excited about all these alts, we're going to be in a position that we've definitely beat the market. Well, since it is Free Shirt Friday, I just wanted to give out 2 shirts to a couple of people that have made some comments over the past few weeks. But yeah, we had a random draw, and we got Luis Marquez. You are a winner of one of the shirts. Reach out to me on Twitter or at coinbook.com, and we'll get you hooked up. And the other winner is Ray. So both of you guys, thank you for supporting the channel. Thanks for your conversations, your comments. I really appreciate it. I enjoy your thoughts and ideas, and even the encouragement. So it's awesome. I think you guys are great, and I really enjoy doing this channel. It makes me think, and it helps me justify the trades that I make. Okay, it is time to separate the CoinBook trolls from the CoinBook fans. So these are the magnificent t-shirts that we are giving away every Friday. These are individually packaged with love from your best friends, China. There's also this incredible option designed by yours truly, and we'll be giving away probably one or two of these every Friday to just a random comment on any of the videos over the past week. But, and I don't blame you, if you absolutely cannot live without one of these shirts, I am willing to part with them for $15 worth of your favorite crypto. Just reach out to me on social media and we'll get you guys hooked up.